Hi, David Allman here. Welcome to a new Ask Wallimann episode. I don't know. I don't know why. Sorry, I don't know. Got 3 questions today. The first question is from Writer Mike. This question has to do with the couple videos that I did a few days ago on writing music for cash. When you're doing this kind of thing, writing music specifically to make money, do you find that you have to go against your instincts? I don't, but I probably would if that's the only way that I made money. It's not. Most of my income comes from teaching. That's probably 90% of it. And then there's a smaller percentage that comes from my music sales and different gigs here and there. So this is a new source of income. I have done this for video games in the past. Low paying jobs, but it was really fun. But because this is not my main source of income, I can be selective. I already have something that takes care of my bills, and that's the teaching part. This is something really exciting to me that I'm exploring, so I can be selective. So no, I don't. And that's the cool thing with writing for pictures, whether it's a movie, a video game, something visual. Music can influence the way you see the picture, and that's what I've always loved. You can feel that picture in a very different way, whether you hear this on it or this. I'm just writing whatever music I want. I'm putting this on this website, Audio Jungle in this case, because it's easy, but there are many others, and people just buy it and license that music if they need it. I'm not in a position where I have to go against my own natural musicality. So thanks for asking the question. Question number 2 is from Clovis 2012. Thanks so much, Clovis, for asking this. Clovis is asking, can you explain the rhythm syncopation you use for the jazz fusion type of lines? So you're talking about this kind of thing. I do that all the time because it's natural and simple to me. You have to have in the back of your mind that rhythm guideline, that subdivision. And for me, it's 16th notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, taka, 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 taka. It seems to fit most musical genres. And then once you have that locked in your mind, you're not just going to play 16th notes. That'll be pretty boring. But anytime you play a note, it's going to have to fall on one of those taka, 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 taka. And you can start doing that without your guitar. Just make rhythm motifs with your mind, starting with those 16th notes. Taka, taka. After doing that for a while, it's very natural, and it really helps you sound more confident when you're playing. Confidence has a lot to do with the delivery of your musical message, and in this case, we're talking about improv. And then gradually, you can add to those 16th note rhythm patterns some other types of rhythm patterns. Maybe you can explore some triplets, that kind of thing, and make a little more complex rhythm motifs, but don't over-complexify it. Don't make it too hard. You don't have to. Something simple that the listener can relate to is going to sound more complex if it's structured well and more interesting than if you just go the really hardcore rhythm route. And finally, the last question of the day is from EAA. What should I concern myself with first? Building technique or delving into understanding theory? Well, that's a good question, and I don't think you need to ask it like that. I think it's all linked together. What I always suggest is for students to start working on something that is interesting to them. Whatever route you approach this big thing, expansive world of music, it's a good angle all the time. If you're working on your improv, for example, that's something you really want to improve on. You learn a couple licks. Well, those licks are going to trigger new thoughts. Why was this lick played here? Why does it work? Well, then you're going to study a little bit of theory. How can I make this lick fit this song, which is played at 210 beats per minute? Well, that's where you ask yourself the question, how can I improve my speed without too much difficulty? And you look at your technique and all that. But I don't think it's a matter of where do I start. It's all together. It's at the same time. Okay, you're moving to China. You don't know Chinese. Do you learn how to read and write, or do you listen and try to reproduce what you're hearing? Well, all of the above. It's all helping each other build this knowledge and this music persona that you are. So don't worry too much about where should I start. Wherever you start is good. I would suggest not only doing one thing, but if you're working on a speed picking thing, you're working on your speed, as you're working on that, ask yourself the question, where can I use this lick? And that's gonna dive into the theory aspect a little bit. It should all be together. Music is one thing. It's not just theory, not just technique. It's this whole thing. Just like language is not just writing, not just spelling, but it's also speaking and the emotional thing that happens when you're speaking and all that, listening. It's all together. But good question, but don't get too frustrated with the answer. Whatever you're doing, do it full-heartedly. Great questions today, everyone. Thank you so much. If you have other questions that you want me to answer, leave them below. Make sure that you subscribe to this channel. There is a link that magically appeared on this video. Watch more videos. Have a good week, everyone. Practice well.